You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken Tech for your ears.
Welcome, everyone. As a vocal technologist, I'm always digging into what's actually making waves. Today, we've got some sources lined up, and we're going to pull out the really crucial shifts happening in tech and finance.
That's the plan. Trying to see where the innovation really meets the road, hits real impact, but also bumps into some, pretty interesting challenges.
We'll be looking at everything from market surges, new AI thinking, to different ways to invest, and even fixing regulations.
A broad spectrum, definitely.
Okay, let's jump right in then. Market momentum.
Yeah.
Ethereum had, an absolutely massive July.
Massive is the word.
We're talking $238 billion in on-chain volume. That's up 70% month over month.
70%.
Yeah, highest it's been since, December 2021.
Yeah.
And get this, all-time records for transactions, 46.67 million.
Wow.
And 17.55 million active addresses. Plus, ETH closed July testing those multi-year highs around $3,700. So is this just, hype again or something deeper?
Well, what's really interesting here and what the sources point to is this idea of a full on-chain revival. Yeah. It suggests it's not just price watching. It's real network usage, robust activity across the board, the whole ecosystem.
So fundamental strength, not just speculative froth.
Exactly. It looks more like a validation of the underlying tech, the infrastructure itself.
Okay, speaking of fundamentals, let's talk AI.
Yeah.
Because some sources are saying current LLMs, the big language models, they've kind of hit a wall.
A reasoning plateau, they're calling it.
Right. Great with language, but actual logic, complex planning, that's still tough for them. But then there's this thing called REI.
REI.
They've got this innovative modular core framework. What's the deal there? How's it different?
So REI's approach is pretty clever. It tries to mirror human thinking more closely. It actually separates out language processing, memory, persistent memory, and then a specific reasoning cluster.
A dedicated part just for logic.
Exactly. And instead of one giant model trying to do everything, REI basically coordinates lots of smaller, specialized expert models.
It's like a team of specialists instead of one generalist.
Precisely. And this allows for things like real-time learning, building structured concepts. And this is important. You can actually see the reasoning path. It's more transparent.
Which promises, more adaptive intelligence. More efficiency than just throwing more data at a huge model.
That's the idea, moving beyond just brute force. Plus, it's got this crypto angle, on-chain tokenomics for investment, too.
Interesting. Okay, from AI architecture to financial architecture, Ventuals built on Hyperliquid.
Right, the private market play.
Yeah, they're trying to crack open the private markets,
Yeah.
right? Which are worth trillions, but usually only accessible to VCs.
A very exclusive club, traditionally.
So Ventuals wants to let anyone trade perpetual futures based on pre-IPO company values.
Get this up to 10x leverage, low fees. You're essentially betting on a private company's future success or failure without needing to be an accredited investor.
How do they even price that?
Well, the Oracle apparently pulls data from secondary market sales, so it's trying to peg it to real-world, albeit less frequent, trades.
So this could make startup investing way more accessible.
That's the potential game changer, yeah. Making that kind of exposure widely accessible, as one source put it. It's powered by Hyperliquid's HIP-3 protocol.
But you mentioned leverage. 10x is significant.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge opportunity for access, but also carries substantial risk, Especially for folks new to this kind of trading, their testnet launch will be one to watch.
Definitely. Which brings us neatly to regulation, because innovation often pushes those boundaries.
Always does.
And our sources are pretty blunt about the Bank Secrecy Act, the BSA. They're calling it outdated.
Well, it kind of is. Inefficient, insecure sometimes. Doesn't really mesh with modern tech.
Yeah, the way it works now, firms have to collect and just store massive amounts of personal data that often just sits there unused, unread.
Creating this huge honeypot of risk, basically. Unnecessary risk.
So what's the tech fix? Is there one?
The proposed solution getting traction is zero-knowledge proofs. ZKPs.
ZKPs. Explain that again quickly.
Okay, so ZKPs, what's really cool is they let you prove something is true, like, say, you're over 18. Or you're not on a sanctions list without actually revealing the underlying data.
So you prove compliance without handing over your date of birth or your exact identity details.
Exactly. You prove the fact without exposing the sensitive information. It's a fundamental shift. You can enforce rules without wrecking privacy.
That seems incredibly powerful.
It really is. And the push is for Congress, for the Treasury to actually update the rules to allow these ZKP systems could bring a lot more clarity to crypto regulation overall.
Okay, so let's tie this together. We're seeing strong fundamentals in crypto markets like Ethereum,
Yeah, real usage signs.
a potential leap forward in how AI thinks, with modular systems like REI,
Moving past brute force.
finance getting radically democratized with things like Ventuals opening private markets,
Huge access shifts.
and finally using smart tech like ZKPs to fix old, clunky regulations.
Right. It really underscores how technology keeps pushing and reshaping everything, how we invest, how we build intelligence, how we handle data and privacy.
Absolutely. So maybe the thought to leave you all with is this. How might all these different threads, modular AI, accessible futures on private firms, privacy-preserving regulation, how might they all weave together to fundamentally change our relationship with information with value and maybe even with trust itself in this digital age?
Definitely something to think about.
We'll leave it there for this exploration. Thanks for tuning in.
Spoken Tech for your ears.